Thank you. Good afternoon. Well, this is obviously going to be the subject of an inquiry, but I think it's a matter of great public concern and has been publicly commented upon. And so I'm not going to be the arbiter in any determination of what Mr. Mpofu did or didn't do, and I'm prepared to comment on it. First of all, the decorum of the court, the dignity of the court, requires that counsel act with politeness towards witnesses, towards colleagues, and obey the directions of the presiding officer, which in this case was the Deputy Chief Justice. So telling a colleague to shut up is way outside of the parameters of the manner in which we may address our colleagues. We're not allowed to have our personal feelings enter into the way that we conduct matters. We have to conduct ourselves with dignity and decorum in the court.
And is there any sort of feedback or action that the bar then takes in this particular instance?
Yes, I have obtained confirmation that a complaint has been laid against Mr. Mpofu. That complaint will be investigated by the professional committee of the Johannesburg Bar. That is a subcommittee of the Johannesburg Bar Council. And Mr. Mpofu will obviously be given every opportunity to defend himself. And if it is found that his conduct amounts to unprofessional conduct, then the Johannesburg Bar Council can sanction him.
And who has laid that charge against him?
I don't have the identity of the person who laid the complaint.
Who has the jurisdiction to be able to lay a charge of that nature against him?
Anybody who has knowledge of the facts is entitled to lay a complaint of that nature. It's just a question of bringing it to the attention of the relevant body. And in fact, the Johannesburg Bar Council could have taken note of this in any event because it's in the public domain, and I think would have been under a duty to investigate.
There are some advocates who say, looking at the comments that Advocate Mpofu made in context, that the Deputy Chief Justice did not stop or intervene when Advocate Leroux was interfering when Advocate Mpofu was trying to make his points. Is this type of situation supposed to be looked at within that type of context? In other words, is there an alternate way that the Deputy Chief Justice could have dealt with the situation at the time in that particular room that could have prevented an escalation to the point that we witnessed?
Well, let me first of all make it quite clear that it doesn't matter whether Justice Zondo was right or wrong. He's the chair. He directs the proceedings. There's no excuse for counsel telling a colleague to shut up. There's no excuse for counsel telling a witness to shut up or a member of the gallery, who I think was the third person told to shut up. But in any event, I have viewed the footage of the incident. And what in fact happened was that Ms. Leroux, who was re-examining Minister Pravin Gordhan, started a question about his struggle history and so on as a precursor to the question of how he felt about being accused of racism against Mr. Tom Mayani. Justice Zondo was in fact the person who started to engage with Ms. Leroux and said, but we've heard this evidence before and we don't need to hear it again. And Ms. Leroux then sought to explain why it was that she wanted to put a question which in part had been covered before. She was still in the process of that explanation when Minister Gordhan tried to resolve the issue by saying, well, he could just say something very brief. And I think it's at that point that Mr. Mpofu then objected to the question of Ms. Leroux.
Wow, guys. You definitely knew that I was going to come back. And the question is, today, we're actually going to be doing an analysis and the response of what? Of shut-ups. Basically, that's that. Why we are here? We are here because of this.
No, we also
I'm making the remarks.
Yes, ma'am.
You shut up. You shut up. I'm making the remarks.
Thank you, ma'am. Let us shut up.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I'm shocked.
Yes.
One advocate says, I show them Nobody was arrested, interested. No, he never showed us. We asked questions, blah, blah. And we are all court officers. Don't you like Jen?
Now, good people, I know that some of you will not have a context because I first played you a clip, basically. So the clip that I played you was a clip of a response on another a shut up incident. Just for our people to actually to be reminded in terms of what really happened then. We have an incident where Advocate Dalimpofu was participating in a state capture matter. But anyway, I'm gonna play the clip later on. But what I wanted us to respond to is that we had the media, we had the commentators, how they swiftly responded to an incident that was taking place, basically. Now, that incident that was taking place in the state capture, and the people that were there was the darling of the media. The darling of the media at the time was Minister Pravin Gordhan, basically. So that I don't leave you guys behind, I would really like to give context to that clip that I said I was going to play. There you go. I hope you can see the screen. Let's start.
Making the accusation that you are racist. Can I ask you to explain to the chair, given your history in the struggle, given the fact that you were detained and brutally tortured, given the impact on your family?
She explained that sufficiently, not only today, but last time under cross-examination. I thought he explained that quite well. I don't think there's anything unclear about what he was saying. Yes,
Chair, but I would like him to place on the record.
No, he has. It's clear. He referred to his role in the struggle. He referred to his membership of the ANC, if I recall correctly. He said quite a number of things. I'm not sure that there's anything unclear about where he stands or what he said about.
Yes, Chair. He testified that he is not racist. I'm asking him how it feels to be called racist on behalf of Mr. Moyani.
But what does that
mean? May I make a brief comment, Chair, so we can conclude this matter?
No, Chair, can I object before he makes any comment brief otherwise?
Chair, no, can I just explain the question?
Okay.
Mr. Moyani makes allegations.
Chair, I'm on the floor. Really, I can't stand this. Okay. This cannot be happening for the third time. Ms. Leroux must shut up when I'm speaking.
Let me just hear, please. Must you just hear?
You too, Mr. Koda.
Mr.
I'm still on the floor. You also shut up.
No, Mr. Mpofu, I'm in charge here. Please sit down. Let me hear first what you have to say. I'm in charge here. Please sit down. I'm in charge here. Please sit down. Just hear. Let me just hear, please.
Allegation.
Chair, I'm on the floor. Really, I can't stand this. This cannot be happening for the third time. Ms. Leroux must shut up when I'm speaking.
Let me just hear, please. Must you just hear?
You too, Mr. Koda.
I'm
still on the floor. You also shut up.
No, Mr. Mpofu, I'm in charge here. Please sit down. Let me hear first what she had to say.
She parted.
Yes, but she had not
so
explained. I want to hear her explanation, then hear you. Then I'll.
But Chair, I'm still speaking.
Now, yes, I said today, greetings again to all of us. And as we know that here at News for Sure, we always try to be brief and to critically analyze the information that comes out from court. News for Sure people, I think it's very important that we understand that in the case of senzo meyiwa, I think all people have lost patience, especially people from the defense side have lost patience. Some of us, like me, South Africans, we're utterly disappointed about the level of incompetence or the level of corruption that is taking place in Ratha's court. We have been very vocal about the sequence of events that are taking place in Ratha's court. That will be the witnesses and how the judge has actually become biased towards the state. Now it becomes quite interesting if now it's been, I think there was a third incident where Mnisi has been actually literally, it's just the last time when he was told to shut up, but in all other times it's been like silence basically. Now that lawyers can speak about the matters in terms of what does it mean if a lawyer is denied the right to speak, basically. Now this today we want to unpack this tension inside the courtroom of Ratha. We want to analyze this shut up incident because these are escalating the matter, basically, because all these incidents take place in the event where the state is being cornered and the judge appears, every time he appears to have to always become like an older brother, like Abur Salmaka plan for the state. You see, now that becomes a problem for us as South African, for people who are observing this case, because every time when the state is cornered, Ratha always comes to defend. He comes to defend the state. Now, I don't know what the judge matters are going to say. I don't know why the media has also been quieter about this. Or is it okay to say to Mnisi he must shut up? But when it's a person of color that is being told to shut up, and it's normal because people of color are used to be told to shut up. But if you're a black person, you can't tell a person of any color to shut up because as a black person, you're supposed to comply to the rules of the norm. You're inferior. You are nothing. South Africa, we've moved very hard. We've moved very far from that. In fact, even our kids, we are grateful that our kids don't see the color that we see. But then now, at the same time, as when we deal with remedies, we ought not to be seen to be ignoring a pattern where the state and the judge will treat the defense witnesses, the defense lawyers who are actually fighting. Because remember, the problem here is accused number 1, number 2, number 3. The lawyers that are representing accused number 1 and 3, which is Mnisi. Mnisi is fighting for his client. But now, every time when he gets to be told to shut up or is being treated as if he doesn't know the law, that is a problem. It's a problem that it needs legal experts to actually analyze that. But for us who are just normal citizens, we observe in terms of saying, okay, other people are treated differently. The mainstream media will go and look for people who are going to hear the comments about this person because the mainstream media didn't like Advocate Dalimpof. So that's why they needed people to say something. Or the mainstream media needed to please their master who's at the time was Pravin Gordhan. I am really qualifying that, why I'm saying mainstream media is saying Pravin Gordhan's there must, because I don't remember mainstream media reporting anything negative about Pravin Gordhan. You understand? So yes, the issue is we are here now trying to join the dots. It was because of him that started telling us about joining the dots. Now, when we then look in terms of the issue of the senzo meyiwa, what is the issue with Judge Ratha? I'm like really trying to see in his perspective. Let me just be on the other side. Let me just see maybe what the judge can see, and that maybe we're not seeing. Okay, we get it that the case has been taking long, it's not finishing. But then what we also get is that the judge gets frustrated because now he and Baloyi, they keep on altering record. Now you see, I'm struggling to find anything positive that will justify Ratha to actually say to Advocate Mnisi, shut up. You see now, if you're being shut up by the presiding officer, it's a problematic. It's a problematic because we've seen how Judge Ratha has taken a stance on Mnisi from when he was going to run the comrade. He was making fun of him. That must stop. I think we're sitting down here, we're observing. That must stop. Anybody that seems to stand up against the lies and the fabrication of the state, Ratha will be one person that will target that person and will make sure that person goes down. We've seen Ratha targeting and even threatening to sue Mngomezulu, and he's going to deal with Mngomezulu. And where did Mngomezulu ended up? Mngomezulu, may his soul rest. He's 6 feet underground. That's what happens. The minute you tell the judge not to descend, Mngomezulu confronted the judge. What happened? We still don't know what happened to Mngomezulu, but it will have been some of the stress that came out from that court that may have contributed to all of his illnesses. And we remember that on the day that Mngomezulu passed on, the same court said Mngomezulu was spotted in the court. It's a disgrace. And we need to analyze these things. We need to be firm about these things. We need to call upon your Mbegezeli Benjamin, Judge Ismet. Where are you, Sir Mbegezeli? Where are you? Are you quick to comment on Defu's matter? You're quick to comment on all the other things, but nobody seems to be able to comment on Ratha and say, Ratha is the only one that comes back and apologize himself after a point of reflection. Maybe, guys, maybe we're just, maybe I'm thinking as commentators, maybe we're being too hard on him. Maybe he's going through with some other things that we don't know. Maybe sometimes he voices out his frustration through us. But then he needs to understand that if we look from the defense side of it, we see that Ratha is interfering from Mnisi to be able to provide or to support his clients adequately. If every time when he's doing something, he's going to be told to shut up or is going to be made to feel inferior. And then people need to understand that based on this case, there are broader implications with relating to this thing because our South African justice system is actually in a blink. It's being scrutinized. We have a lot of commission, we've got a lot of huge claims that are being mentioned. And Ratha appears to be insensitive of what is currently happening in the country. I mean, not so long ago, we know that yes, there could be allegations about Judge President of Gauteng, Judge Letwab. I mean, but why do you invoke, why you make example of him in that court? You're just being insensitive. When you're telling us now, what do you want? This thing of you calling your friends, Judge Ratha, it's or your colleagues, it's a problem because one person who's anti Judge Mlam will says, oh, judges, that means it's true. What the allegations that are about the Judge Letwam is driving Maserati. People are Googling how much are Maseratis and everything. Then it's not easy, Judge Ratha, to see a public servant living opulent lifestyle. It's not easy for South Africans to understand that. Now, if you're saying that if you are putting him on the podium of these Italians machines and these status cars, you are actually making a person who's confused that how can be a judge have such allegations. Now, you're creating a fertile ground for those arguments to stand, for other people to say, oh, that's why he is implicated in these matters, is getting side monies, these allegations that are before them, because he's driving the Maseratis. Babrata, you need to understand these implications that for us, we need a judiciary transparent. We need our judiciary to be very transparent. So now we understand if you are frustrated, we are also frustrated. But that should not be a position for you to, for every chance that you get, that you make the defense to feel somehow. What about the meyiwa family? Guys, sometimes we need to not to be emotional about these things, but it becomes very hard when you are observing at this case, the senzo case, and you're seeing that how is the state allowed to get away with a lot of lies. And you'll see on the next recording, we're going to try and then analyze the evidence. But I just thought today that, you know what, let's just have a brief. Let's talk about these shut-ups. I definitely think that Oracha needs to apologize to Mnisi, but then he must not be popular known by a judge that always apologizes. He must control his temper. But also what Baloyi was doing, it's unprocedural. Why the judge does not tell Baloyi out of control Baloyi? Because you can't read information that is new to the defense without sharing the information in court. What are the rules of introducing new information in court? No, guys, you see this legal fraternity, man, this career of lawyers, it's something else. I'm struggling to understand it. But I'll tell you what, good people, we just hope that these shut-up incidents are going to be resolved. So what I need now is we're going to do an analysis of the case in the next recording. But for now, let's wait and see if the media is going to talk about this shut-up incident. But I think Ratha should apologize. Thank you.